The Logic Data Silver Standard Plus adjustable bed ships via FedEx or UPS in 2 boxes. This is a queen size. The first box is approximately 60 by 28 by 6 inches, weighing 94 pounds. The second box is approximately 79 by 28 by 6 inches and weighs 90 pounds. The longer box contains the side rails with a unique Mechatronic Elematic lift mechanism. When you unpack these side rail pieces, be careful not to scratch them and leave the blue tape holding the lifting arms in place. Here you see everything unpacked from the other box. We have the 2 crossbar end pieces that connect the side rails together. Then we have the 4 deck pieces. This is the leg mid-thigh deck. Behind that is the foot deck with the mattress retaining bracket. Next is the base seat section containing one of the vibration units and the underbed LED light. Finally, the head section containing the second vibration unit. You can see the holes in these decks where they will attach to the frame network with special bolts. Also included is your manual. And here are the legs and the deck attachment bolts. And then finally you have the electronics, cables, and corner pieces. To begin assembly, lay out the 4 frame pieces on the floor. Note the sticker on the inside of the side rails to be placed inside of the frame, noting the orientation of the head and the foot. The crossmember end pieces are identical, and they may be placed on either end. Next, attach the crossmember ends to each side rail. There are 2 plastic pegs that align with the holes in the end of each side rail, and there's also a nut that aligns with the bolt already placed into the crossmember end. Line these up and press them into place, and then snug everything using the Allen key that is provided with the kit. Final tightening will occur at a later step. Do this for all 4 corners. Here's the frame after the side rails and end pieces have been attached. I've stood the frame on its end as opposed to using the styrofoam assembly supports provided with the base so that you may see the underside and the recessed nuts in each corner where the legs will be attached to the base. You can see that the blue tape is still attached, holding the lifting arms in place. Here's one of the 4 legs that you'll use to attach to the bottom of the base. Each leg does have a threaded bolt inserted on one end, and the bottom of each leg has a slight spin-out adjustability to help level the base if it's placed on an uneven floor. Screw each leg into position in each corner. Tighten these quite snugly by hand so that there's no wobble where the leg attaches to the frame. Using a pair of rubber grip gloves like I have here is quite helpful. Now that the legs are attached, go around the perimeter of the base and retighten the bolts in each corner, attaching the end cross members to the side rails. You may now remove the blue tape holding the lifting arms in place. 4 decorative corner covers are provided. You can see on the reverse that these have some small tabs on the side and on the top that help them to align to the side rails and the end cross member piece. Just gently push them into position, make sure they're properly aligned, and then give them a small thump and they'll click firmly into the frame. Now that the frame perimeter is fully assembled, we'll focus on attaching the top deck pieces. Starting at the head of the unit, you'll see that there are 4 recessed nuts, 2 on each side, of the side rail lift arms that will align with the holes on the deck head piece. Place the head deck piece, it's the largest with a vibration unit on the back, onto the frame and align the holes in the deck with the recessed nuts on the side rail lift arms. The rounded corners of the head deck piece go towards the very outside head end of the frame. These are the threaded bolts you'll use to attach the decks to the side rail lift arms. They should be tightened by hand. After you've aligned the deck holes with the recessed nuts on the side rail lift arms, loosely screw in the threaded nuts by hand. Make sure to not over tighten these and don't force them in because you could potentially cross thread them. Once you get all 4 bolts started, go back and then perform a final retightening to firmly secure the deck into place.
It helped me expose this refurbished mattress business, and they got rewarded for it. I'm grateful to them.
There is a 3-pin cable from the massage unit underneath the head deck, and this needs to be attached to the provided wiring pigtail harness. There are 3 cables on one end of this pigtail harness, and the head deck massage cable plugs into the middle one of these 3 cables.
The 50% off sales that are very common within our industry. I want to give you a disclaimer right off.
When you plug the cables together, make sure that you orient them properly so that they snap into place. The shape of one of the pinholes is squared off to assist you with this orientation. They'll fit together snugly with a click. The next deck piece to attach is the seat base deck, and on the underside of this deck is a cable with a 3-pin connector for the second vibration unit, as well as a cable with an 8-pin connector for the underbed LED light. These cables will also eventually be attached to the 3-cable pigtail harness. Place the seat base deck upside down on top of the head deck unit. Ideally, this deck should be oriented so that the vibration unit is closest to the head of the frame, which is opposite of the way that I have it oriented here. Attach the aforementioned cables to the pigtail harness. The 3-pin vibration unit will attach to the 3-pin cable on the end of this harness. And again, that clicks into place in a proper orientation. And then the 8-pin LED light cable will attach to the remaining 3rd cable on the end of the harness. This cable also has a specific orientation, so be sure that you click it into place properly. Here's the pigtail harness with the 3 cables connected. Now attach the opposite end of the pigtail harness to the appropriate 8-pin connector on the plug port built into the left side rail of the unit. You'll see on the side rail that there are actually 4 plug ports, and the one you want to use is the closest to the head of the adjustable bed base. Again, make sure that this orientation is correct and that it clicks firmly into place. Still keeping the seat base deck upside down and on top of the head deck, focus next on attaching the USB charging unit to the appropriate plug port. This is a 2-pin plug, and it will attach to the plug port on the left side rail, and it's the plug port that's the closest to the foot of the adjustable bed base. Make sure that the orientation is correct and that it clicks firmly into place. After that, feed the cable for the USB charging unit through the small slot provided on the top of the lifting arm so that it doesn't get pinched when the seat base deck is securely affixed. Attaching the USB charging unit to the right side of the adjustable bed base is the same as attaching it to the left side. It's a 2-pin cable. Make sure that the orientation is correct and put it securely into the plug port. Snake the wire through the small notch on the top of the lifting arm and make sure that it stays in place. Sometimes, like in this example, the wire will pop out, so you'll have to reposition it when you attach the seat base deck. Now the next cable to attach is a side-to-side motor cable, and this is a 12-pin connector cable. This cable is the same on each end, so you can start with either end, attaching it to the left and the right-hand side. Here we're on the right-hand side. Make sure that the orientation is correct and firmly secure it into place. Stretch the cable across and connect it into the 12-pin cable plug port on the left side of the adjustable bed base. The last item to connect is the power converter box. If you lose power, this is where you'll put 9-volt batteries in the bottom, and then you'll press this emergency lowering button to get your adjustable bed to the flat position. This uses a 10-pin connector, and then this connector connects to the last open plug port along the left side rail. Here you can see how the USB charging station attaches to the bottom of the seat base deck. There's a hollowed out area on the USB charging station, and it attaches to this plastic tab securely affixed to the bottom of the seat base deck. Just slide that into place and then firmly press down and you'll hear a click. Now we actually attach these in a step a little bit down the road here, so I'm going to remove it, and next we'll put the seat base deck onto the frame side rails. Before securing the seat base deck, double check that those USB charging cables are securely affixed in the small slots on top of the side rail lift arms. Then gently rotate the seat base deck over into its proper orientation, and then line up the holes in this deck with the recessed nuts in the lifting arms of the side rails. Loosely secure the two threaded bolts on the left-hand side of the seat base deck. Once that's done, take the USB charging station on the left-hand side and clip that onto the plastic tab underneath the seat base deck. The procedure is the same on the right-hand side of the seat base deck. Attach the two threaded bolts and then click the USB charging station into place. Once that's done, go back and retighten all four threaded bolts on the top of the seat base deck. Attaching the mid-thigh deck is next, and this uses only two threaded bolts. The final deck piece is the foot section. Orient this with the mattress retaining bar at the very end of the base, and then insert and secure the four threaded bolts to firmly affix this deck into position. There's one final cord to attach, and that's the power outlet cord that plugs into the end of the power converter unit. This cord has a 3-pin end, so plug this into the end of the power converter unit, and then snake the cord through the little tabs on the side of the unit, as this prevents the cord from accidentally pulling out of the end of the power converter block. Once you have this done, do not yet plug in your adjustable bed base to the wall outlet. Make sure that your batteries are properly inserted into the back of your remote control, and then at this time you may plug the adjustable bed base into the wall socket. This puts the adjustable bed base into the pairing mode for 30 seconds. Within that time frame, press any button on the remote control to pair your remote control to the adjustable bed base. The Silver Standard Plus has a full range of motion at the head and the foot. Here, as the head section is elevated, you can see the nightstand reach wall saver feature in action, keeping the seat area of the base closer to the wall and moving back towards your nightstand. You're now set to experience all of the features of your brand new Logic Data Silver Standard Plus adjustable bed base. Clean them up a little bit, run them through a bagging machine.